Hi there. This is your tarot energetic reading for the month of June 2026. This reading is going to be for Pisces. These readings are based on your astrological signs. I recommend watching your sun sign first, your moon sign second, and your rising sign third. All of those are all posted on my page at the same time, so no need to wait for them to come out. Um, this is, of course, a general reading based on the general vibe to your astrology sign. So if you want a more personal reading specific to you and your situation, it could be in regards to what I read here, or otherwise, it can be completely unrelated. You're welcome to book a reading with me through my website. I'm available for bookings. You can DM me for more information or post in the comments. I do try to reply to those as much as I can. So without further ado, this video is going to be for Pisces. It feels like whimsical. Like, this is interesting. So first, why don't you go ahead and take a look? Five. So we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. We have the Ace of Coins in reverse. And then we have the Three of Wands also in reverse. And this is kind of an interesting setup. So even though all of the cards are in reverse, I feel like specifically for you, Pisces, this is leaning into the yin yang duality of Pisces and the two face of Gemini that we're going to have in the beginning of June. So I'm getting the sense that I'm getting the sense that this reading is all upside down and all right side up. And it's kind of up to you how you want to navigate your way through that. You'll intuitively know, Pisces. You can do it. So at the beginning of the month of June, you're going to have the Seven of Cups in reverse. And the Seven of Cups, I mean, if you see, she's literally wearing a mask. There's this, I'm going to read the card both ways because I feel like this is really applicable both ways. Like I said before, so you're going to have this kind of opportunity in the beginning of the month to have this whimsical, like two-faced kind of vibe. You're hiding behind a mask of you give out feelings to some and not to others. You're going to put emotional weight and energy into something and not into other things. And there's this going to be this kind of willy nilly kind of vibe about it. It's not going to feel willy nilly to you, but it might feel willy nilly to other people, where you're kind of extending your energy some places and not other places. And this can be really to your advantage as a Pisces. If you're manifesting your life, you can really decide be really smart about your priorities and where you're putting your energy specifically for manifesting the life that you want, which you're very good at that, Pisces. But it can also be negative if you're not using it for the greater good of your life, manifesting what it is that you want, a better life for yourself, then it's going to feel really wishy washy to other people around you. So just kind of be mindful of that. In the beginning of June, you're going to have this kind of very two faced feeling, which you kind of naturally embody anyway, but really take a minute to assess of like, am I just putting energies into the right thing and not putting energy into the wrong thing? Or am I just kind of being wishy washy? Because that's not really going to go over well for you if you're just kind of throwing your energy in random places. But that never really works out. So it doesn't work out for you, it doesn't work out for anybody around you. So, really, kind of, as long as you're directing it towards something with a purpose for you, even if that purpose is to have fun, we don't want to be wishy washy with our fun. Like, if you're putting your energy towards having fun, just like have fun. And no need to kind of like brush off other people or other things on a whim. Um, we have the Ace of Coins in the middle of the month. And again, I'm going to read this right side up and upside down, kind of depending. Um, You have the opportunity, this feels like very intuitive for you, Pisces. You have the opportunity to get an intuitive idea. This feels more financial to me. For some of you, it might be spiritual. For some of you, it might be financial. Um, I think you're going to get a kind of maybe epiphany or an intuitive feeling to pursue something specific. Um, and again, for some of you, that image might be very clear, and you're like, this is what I'm going for. This is what I want to put my energy into. It doesn't mean that we're brushing other people off, but it just means that you're kind of delegating energy in a productive, efficient way. Um, but in reverse, you might be have this self doubt about your intuitive feelings towards what this epiphany you got. Like you might get an idea or be like, oh, that sounds really great, but I'm not good enough to do it kind of vibe. And we are not about that here. You can do anything that you want to do. So, really, Pisces, kind of keep in mind anything that comes to you intuitively, you don't have to overthink it. You don't need to have this self doubt of like, I'm not good enough. If you're getting it as a psychic or intuitive gut feeling that feels really strong to you, you can just trust your gut and go with it. No need to overthink it and put it into the mental space. If you get an idea and you're like, meh, no need to pursue that either. Um, but trust that you have the intuitive ability to know what is and isn't a good idea to pursue for you. That might happen around the mid June range. And then towards the end of June, we have the Three of Wands. And at the end of June, we're going to be entering Cancer. And I like this image of like there's this frog kind of fishing and it looks like this whirlpool and like a storm kind of happening. He's like fishing for these boats. This feels like in the positive sense very manifestor energy, like you've sent out threads or strings towards the things that you want based on the intuitive message that you got earlier in the month, and you're kind of like waiting to see which one's going to bite. And it's like there's some action required on your part, as in you need to be readily available to take action once one does bite. But there's also going to be this kind of feeling of waiting for one to bite at the end of June in the positive sense. If you really pursued something that you had a gut feeling about and you put your energy towards, I don't want to say the correct thing, but towards the thing that you felt intuitively called to put your energy towards, you're going to be waiting for those to bite by the end of June. In the flip side of things, if you were a bit wishy washy, you sent out too many strings to things that were really not applicable to you, there can be this feeling of like it's never going to work out for you. And it's like I'm sitting here fishing in the storm and I'm not getting any bites. And that's going to feel kind of rough for you, Pisces. So, really, throughout the month, you're going to have these opportunities to kind of choose which to be the yin or the yang. Um, you need both, but you're going to have this opportunity to be like, there's two sides to everything for you, which is kind of your always your state, but in the month of June especially, you're being called to kind of assess both of these angles. And really, once you choose one at the beginning of the month, you're kind of set straight through to the end of the month. So you have the opportunity for a great month here, Pisces. I hope it's a great one. Have a great month.